Hey everybody, welcome. We're going to be getting into this next game. This game number 2 between Crane, the blue Protoss in the top left, and his opponent DDE, the red Terran in the bottom right. We have a very hardcore game for you guys, as these guys are incredibly strong, and they are duking it out with, I guess you can almost say their entire hearts, or at the very least their fingers, as they are playing StarCraft, and it's a lot of fun to see do it. As DDE won the last game with a very aggressive proxy Rax, and there we have Crane throwing down a single pylon into his main base. And so the next question is going to be, are we going to have the reverse happen and have Crane cheese DDE? On the flip side, is DDE just going to go ahead and cheese Crane again? As DDE did take a very solid win in the last one. It was just constant aggression, and at the very least, the constant capability to be aggressive, which is an incredibly important distinction, because incredibly aggressive is, alright, cool, I'm going to attack, which he did at the start. But then after that, he threw down a bunker outside natural expansion and had the immediate threat to be able to be aggressive at any point, which is sometimes even more dangerous than just being aggressive. So Crane is throwing down his gateway. He is scouting after the gateway, so he's still playing calmly, but will he scout a little bit more? He is going to be heading up over here, but he's not checking this area or this area, which are places that people do sometimes proxy. But he is still taking a very solid scouting area, as he's really... Wow, he's really going to every single place possible. That's odd. This area that he's going over there to scout for almost seems like he's trying to see if there's any barracks that's being put down here or being built over here to get lifted down here. I don't even know what his reasoning is for scouting this particular area, but I guess why not go into all the weird areas? Because that's how you catch people off guard, is when they do something you don't expect. And it's definitely not expected to have a proxy Rax over here. Of course, I guess I should reference UR Absolute's game in the URTL, where he actually went for, on Atlantis spaceship at the very bottom right of the map, he went for a reactored Hellion in TVP, and then proceeded to build only Hellions for the next 20 minutes. It was an interesting game. I was quite shocked as to how it turned out. But I will say none of that. If you want to see that game, it will be loaded onto youtube.com/urgamingtv, as it was part of the URTL. And I casted it too, so I immediately like it. I immediately like it a lot. So now we've got this Rax going down at the front of the ramp, and it looks like DDE is going to at the very least be going for an expansion, if not fake the expansion. He's got almost 400 minerals, and he's sending down an SCV to produce a supply depot, but not a command center. This SCV is probably going to build a command center. Or, I don't think he is going to. Looks like he's just building up more. He's got a factory now coming down. Now he's just faking the expansion. So he's once again going to play with a very aggressive style. It looks like he's really working on this one base Terran early aggression type of play. We can see he is running around with this SUV. He also want to make sure he's going to get caught by any proxy pylons, as that could be an incredibly large dampener onto the happiness of one's play, and also the probability of success. But that is a fascinating thing DDE is doing. And that's even weirder. He changes the position of it, which I guess makes sense. He wants to cover more of the ramp itself, but this is a really important thing. One of the big downfalls to games when people are faking the natural expansion, they put down a bunker and everything, is that if there was an actual base here, they can bring SCVs and repair it almost instantly. But when you have to go from your main and then go over there, this bunker could end up just dying to normal attack. So this fallback bunker is incredibly important, because it gives DDE that next level of security that he will not be dying to anything foolish. So now DDE looks like he will actually be expanding, as he's got his SCV just chilling here at the natural expansion. 400 minerals are available, but he's also got a ton of gas. He's going to go for a starport. He's probably going to go for the tech lab and the cloak, and then build a banshee, and then he's going to probably go for his expansion after that, just to make sure that he can do it all. I'm expecting him to. And there it is, he does. So he's going to get his command center after starting Cloak and the Banshees, but if you take a look at the base of Crane, he does have his Robo on the way, 3 gates in a Robo. The Robo is going to be able to produce observers at just really easily in time. But the question is, the Banshee's going to have Cloak, and will DDE attack when he has just one Banshee, or is he going to attack when he has two Banshees, or is he going to go in between that and attack with that first Banshee, the second Cloak is done, while the second Banshee is probably not quite to the end of the map? Yes. He's got options, and we'll see what's going to be going for. But Crane right now is just going for super macro and getting up his fourth gas. And we do have hit Observer on the way. It's going to be the second Observer. The first one is already out in the field, going straight across, and it should be moving into the natural of DD to confirm whether it's down or not. And he's going to be quite surprised when he comes down and finds that there is basically no workers that are going to be mining that area. But Crane knows something is up. He's got control of the watchtower, so he can afford to have units in the back waiting for drops or some form of aggression, and he's going to be coming his way through this Banshee. But notice there is still no Cloak, but there it is. First shot's going to go down. We see the first probe fall. Second probe should be falling in a second. There we go. Third probe should be going. There's the Cloak. Third probe down. We're at the fourth probe fall. So this Banshee is doing a very nice job, and those Cranes, Sakura's got coaxed way too far out. Double Forge is down, but guess what? They're not able to get anything quite yet, and there is going to be the Banshee taking some shots. We got 7 kills now. This Banshee's really doing a great job of doing damage. I mean, overall, 7 kills is very, very nice. And DD is going to go ahead and decloak, try and keep all of the energy that he can, but the second Banshee's on the way, and it looks like DD's continuing to build the Banshees, as well as him getting a siege tank. So it's really looking like he is going to be going for kind of a 2-2-2, which is basically the 1-1-1 off of 2 bases, and you just get double the double the stuff for I don't want to say half the price, but double the stuff for the same amount of time. 1 base is half of 2 bases. But here we go. We've got the Stalkers there, just doing a good job of pushing back this Banshee. There is that Observer in play at both the main and the natural. The double upgrades have begun. But here we have these 3 Stalkers. They have no Observer support, and if DDE sees that, he may just go straight into the natural expansion right now. Although I don't think he realized that. It seems that Crane is just... Wait a second, DDE taking a very odd path to move in and start doing some harassment. He's going to push forward. He almost attacked that pylon really quickly and way too quickly, but there we see him going 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 probes, 8 probes. I feel like I'm the count right now. There's 10 probes. Now he's going to start attacking. There's the 11th probe, and look at that Banshee dying a sergeant. Good job there. I definitely think that was some very nice Banshee play, and I think it pays off. I mean, 18 probe kills for 3 Banshees, and apparently the Banshee production is continuing. The Raven is now out, so we do see that right now DD is hunting for the Observer. That last I checked was around here, but I think it did get taken out. There's a couple of Marines here. Probably one of them is a kill. If we just search through them, we'll most likely find it. There we go. There's that Marine with the kill. So that was most likely an Observer. Possibly could have been a scouting probe, though, because there's maybe other ones that have kills, but there's so many Marines out there, it's always hard to really keep track of which ones do what. Whether it was Martin, whether it was James, or maybe it was Bob. Who knows? I personally like Bob. Bob is a very good person, as you can tell by the movie The Last Samurai. If you guys haven't seen that, you probably should. It's a very fun movie, and I enjoyed it immensely because of the player named Bob. And by player named Bob, I mean the character named Bob. Do you think I should say the word Bob more often? You could possibly Bob for apples, and if your name is Bob and you're bobbing for apples, that's a lot of Bobs that you could be bobbing around saying. And now that you all hate me, I'm going to continue guessing StarCraft. So we got the High Templar out, but as you can see, there's no Side Storm quite yet. The Side Storm is getting close to being done. The Robo is quite idle, and I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing any kind of moral production, considering that we do have these tanks, but the point defense storm still goes down, only blocks 1 laser, but this Raven is very barely damaged. I mean, literally only 18 damage was done, and that means only 18 energy was killed off it. So DDE threw down the point defense storm at basically the best possible time. However, the spot leaves something to be desired. But DD is really preparing for a massive contain right now. He does have 2 bases, so the economy isn't terrible, but Crane's got a proxy probe out and a proxy pylon in production, so this could be pretty bad. But with this double ramp, you could definitely have Crane moving down 1 or both to make sure that he's going to be good. We do have only 2 storms available. There's the death of this Zealot. That's no, yep, that does get taken out quite easily. But DDE stimmed. You cannot stim the Marines, so that's really bad. But Storm doing a great job of dealing damage to those Marines. So pushing forward, we do have this high number now with 7 kills. That is quite significant. We're going to have the Banshee fall very quickly. There is a nice storm going to be hitting SCVs, tanks, and everything. There was these 3 Immortals. Crane may be able to just go down here and crush these. Oh god, these tanks are really not going to be doing so well. 2 Immortals. He has Zealous to help tank, and we're going to see the Banshee here now just have free reign over killing off these units. But DDE, you're not going to be withholding those Immortals attacks. That's just not happening. He needs to salvage these bunkers and get out of here now. Right now, this Raven is still pretty lacking in terms of health and energy. But the point defender is actually being useful now, as it just delays death of that bunker. But what it really does do is save the Raven's life too, which is pretty important. But it looks like it's not going to be lasting for very long because these Stalkers are going to be able to outrun this Raven without too much difficulty. And there it goes. It is now dead. It is now sadly dead, and there is still no blink research. There is charge, but there is no blink. These High Templar are kind of just sitting here, and there we have this point defense show. Maybe able to block one more laser. It does block one more laser, but it doesn't matter. It's still dead. But Crane did throw down a pylon. He does not want DDE taking third base. And DDE isn't by any means out of this, but he's definitely quite far behind. The fact that Storm is out already is really unfortunate for him. And the fact that he's trying to do a 2-2-2 style against High Templars coupled with a significant Immortal count and charge lots, it's looking to be pretty bad for him. Especially because Crane's supply is now more so than that of DDE's. But we're going to be seeing, oh my god, DDE does not want this game to continue. He knows he's behind, so he's going to pull off every single SUV that's ever existed in the history of StarCraft and try and go ahead and do an all-in push. But there is a scan, but oh my god, those storms are damaging everything. You can one-shot every single unit that's left. There is no way DDE is going to be able to take this game. Not after all of that. The fact that she's called GG confirms it, and that will be game as this game number 2 gets taken by Crane. So we have a series on our hands as this Ohana game has gone into the favor of Crane. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one, and who's going to win game number 3.